questions before we move on? We're going to continue with the Lap-Sao. And that will lead us into Chi-Sao. Because Lap-Sao, Chi-Sao really is the combination of all the Lap-Sao applications or changes. And so Fisher Joe, please.
Okay. You know what? Maybe move a little closer to me. Yeah, that way you can see more detail. There you go. Perfect. You don't mind the heads are chopped off, right? But the important thing is the arms. Okay.
So we were talking about the empty hands, right? So you can use the vertical punch, what I call the reference punch, in all your changes. Then you can use the open hand. In this case, we use the finger jab this way. You can also substitute the finger jab with this. Okay, this will be more in line with the vertical, closed, open. All right. So you do this or this, do this. Okay. So the next one that we did the last Thursday, didn't we? All right. But we didn't finish it. So what I want you to do is go over the re-grab. Okay, re-grab. Okay, you go here, you re-grab rather than punch. Use the finger jab, which is huge style. Okay.
Right. Do you want us to do it for
Yeah.
the changes as well?
Yeah.
Or keep the center and then for all of them?
Yeah, all of it. So right now you can see you're substituting your view style, right? Substitute this with this, right? You're substituting this with this. Okay? Right. Good. Yeah, he hasn't grabbed you yet. You let go when he grabs you. Yeah, he touches you. That's it. Stay connected. Yeah. So this is your cue. Okay. Sensory cue. Okay.
Who do you want
Okay.
to change?
Yeah. There you go. So you both get a chance to change.
Right.
Just be mindful of rather than the closed fist, use an open hand. Okay. You can change too. Okay. Why don't you change? Right. No rush.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Okay. Okay. Now Tuesday, when Mike was doing it with Loretto, Loretto was doing it fast. Then he was like feeling the pressure. He was making mistakes. And so he was trying to tell Loretto to slow down, and I was saying, don't tell him to slow down. You slow down.
Just slow down.
You just stop. Then he cannot move on, right? See, right there. No matter how fast he is, he cannot move on anymore. Okay, so this is also an exercise to not get sucked in by what your opponent is doing. He has a game plan, but if you keep up the speed and you go fast, you fell into his trap. So no matter what he does, you just say, okay, I'm going to slow down or stop. Now, right, then you can contemplate on what you need to do next. Welcoming? No? Yeah. Good girl.
Let's stay on the concept.
Good. Yep. Yeah. Yuki. Vertical. Horizontal, rather. Right. Good. Okay. Move on to the next one, which is Lap-Sao change. Good. Lap-Sao change. Yes. With this one, you want to go into Chi-Sao.
After the hit?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
What's the reason? Because you're already disengaging that way, or?
Your one is for speaking, one is for running.
Yeah.
This one, so we'll go ahead and do it. Okay? So you're doing this, right? as opposed to sticking. Okay.
Okay.
So there's time you stick, there's time you run.
Right.
So obviously Lap-Sao is a run, because you don't stay with it. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So that's just emphasizing the
The,
run.
the running part. Good. Okay, move on to number 4, which is from your striking hand. After you struck, you pull down. There you go. So that has to do with your fast speed. That's it.
And that one, you have to let go too, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah. So you go back to losing.
Right.
You can't get that.
Right. Yeah, there you go.
This is sloppy. This is a little bit hand. Yeah.
Good. Right, so the next one, after you strike, you capture yourself. Right. Good.
Ooh, I got it.
Yeah, there you go. I was waiting for you to do that side. Alright, very good. Okay, so the next one is the Chi-Sao. You do the same thing, you go from re-grab to Tan-Sao change to Lap-Sao to grabbing the Wu-Sao, the Bon-Sao, okay? And then along the way, you're missing the scope. Okay? Okay. Oh,
Not that one.
now you're gonna do this. Yeah, you're gonna do Chi-Sao.
It takes me a while.
Go ahead. Uh-huh. You do Chi-Sao. Chi-Sao. Yeah. That's right. Okay, go ahead.
You go.
Just keep going. Yeah, now your turn to do the Tan-Sao change.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Tan-Sao change. Okay. 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 Right. Next one, Lap-Sao change. Uh-huh. That's it.
So,
Lap-Sao
okay.
change.
Alright.
Lap-Sao go there. No. The other hand, Wu-Sao. Go to Wu-Sao. Yeah, that's it.
Alright.
Uh-huh.
My bad.
Good, going to capturing bonsai.
I shouldn't like it. Get my Wusa.
That's right.
Oh, sorry. And then
Cycle. Next one, the last one, capturing the Wusa. That's right. Good. You're great. You're great. Good job. Good job.
capture your fingers 3 times in a row.
Good job.
Getting clean. You're a lot less lean
Yeah.
than like 6 months ago.
It's hard to. I notice things better when I try to tune out more.
Yeah.
I mean, I make the mistakes, granted, but
That's part of the process.
that's part of the process. So I don't.
Yeah.
You will make mistakes. In fact, making mistakes is a good thing. That's how you grow. Making mistakes and acknowledging the mistakes and then correcting them. That is the healthy way to learn. So we have Fu-Sao, we have Jam-Sao. Next one is Fu-Sao. Same thing, you want to use everything starting with Fu-Sao, and then you change to Fu-Sao. That's right. Fu-Sao is this way.
Yeah.
Jam-Sao.
So I was thinking about what we just did. We talked about discoveries and something.
Well, the discovery is when you do a Tan-Sao change while using Jam-Sao, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I felt like that.
Right, that's the discovery. Okay. All right, and then continue with Fu-Sao strike. Same thing, Fu-Sao. Yes.
So if I'm not pushing, I'm just chopping.
Yeah, it's certain control.
Interesting feeling. That
Nope.
comes out.
Yeah, right. Just mindfulness, that's all.
That comes out. I went out of my way to do that jump out. That one too.
Jumps out. Fu-Sao.
Try the regrab. Try the regrab.
Okay.
Grab,
So from there.
grab, go ahead, grab.
See,
Fu-Sao.
that feels okay. To do the transition feels okay.
Mm-hmm. Number 5.
Yeah,
that's right.
Times will change.
Right?
There you go. Make your tonsils flat. Right. Again. Turn
Tonsil
over.
transfer?
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
that wasn't.
Yeah.
That was regrab.
Pretend to Wu-Sao.
Yeah. It's hard.
It is hard.
Yeah.
That's why we practice.
I keep losing track of what my bomb sound is because I don't know why.
Right.
But anyway.
There you go. Don't forget your Wu-Sao.
Okay. Oh, right here, right?
And you dropped it. You dropped
Oh, I
it
dropped it?
several times, yeah.
Okay.
Just be more mindful. Especially when he's attacking you. That's when you're attacking, your Wu-Sao is good, but when he's attacking you, you tend to drop. Yeah.
Oh.
In fact, it should be just the opposite.
Yeah.
When you're being attacked, you should be very vigilant about bringing Wu-Sao back up. See?
I was down.
Yeah, I was
I
down.
felt it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, move on to third change, Lap-Sao change. Yes.
What did I do?
Yeah, you're right.
Just
Yeah.
control.
I was trying to pull it out of the way to do my strike.
That's the application.
Yeah.
Lap-Sao. Yep. Lap-Sao. Your Lap-Sao.
This one? This one.
Yeah.
That was good though, because he was sticking, and I was like, oh, this isn't moving. I should just control.
Up. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good, but it
It was
was
a little heavy.
Yeah.
My arm.
Oh, that was my bond, so I was just
Good. Up.
too flat.
Good. To the next one, capturing the bounce out.
Okay.
After you struck.
Yeah, I should probably do it right away. Huh? Oh, capture the bond
Yeah,
cell.
you're doing number 5, which is not wrong.
It's just the wrong one. Oh, sorry.
Strike. Pull. Yeah.
Pull the trigger.
There you go. Keep going.
Strike, pull. Strike, pull. Strike, pull. Strike, and pull.
There it is. Get this up. There you go. Get it. Keep going.
Alright.
Good. Go on to the next one. Capture the Lap-Sao.
This one I did off the very first time.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to hit and do it.
Good. Very good. Good. Okay, so you
That's
notice
some breakthroughs.
when you do the Lap-Sao change, Chi-Sao doesn't work, but it fits perfectly with a Lap-Sao.
Yeah.
So, okay? You see that's the 9 forms right there, okay? Alright, and then the 5 changes can be linked, any one can be linked to any other, or other, okay? One can link to 5, one can link to 4, one can link to 3, one can link to 2. Same thing, 2 can link to 1, you know, and vice versa. So it's random, it's a random, what I call the random access pattern, rather than an analog. It's a digital pattern rather than an analog pattern. So this is the time to look at them and see where that leads you. Okay? So if we're doing this, okay, see right here, see it lends itself to number 5. So
Or not regrab, but
yeah, I can regrab. So he regrabs. Boom, right here. See now, from here, he leads to 5. So 1, which is regrab,
he regrabs it.
Yeah.
Turns it into
right, same thing. I regrab, regrab, turning to 5. Right? Same thing. Or I can go from, say, 1, and 2 rather, 2 into number 3, which is Lap-Sao. 3.
That's neat.
Right? Go like here and then, okay? So 2 to 3. As you can see, 2 can also go with 4. I mean 2 from here, 2 going to 4. 4. Okay? So right now we're saying we're doing everything just either you stick to Lap-Sao change, Lap-Sao strikes, or you stick to Chi-Sao strikes. Eventually you mix it up. So from here I'm doing a Lap-Sao strike, but when I come back here,
I can go into
Jump size.
Jiang-Sao change and back to Fuchs-Sao change. So it's up to you, okay? So this is where creativity comes in. The creative part of this martial art comes in. Is how do you want to mix them up? You don't always have to use closed fist. You don't always have to use horizontal biuji or vertical biuji or Fuchs-Sao strike or Jiang-Sao strike. You mix it up. And that's when you start playing. But the next thing what I do is
Form.
right. First you learn the form, then you break the form. That's how you become formless. Okay. So most people don't understand. Formless just means you do things randomly at a whim. Whatever inspires you. You don't follow a rigid sequence. Form, you have to follow a rigid sequence, which is what learning. Lap-Sao drill is a form.
Like what we were just doing.
Right. People don't understand. People think form has to be a kata, has to be a prearranged fighting, and attacking it and defending sequence. Form is anything that has a sequence. So our sequence is you do change 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's learning the form. Once you master a form, you say, I'm going to start breaking the form by using empty hand strike. Still within the sequence, right? And then you say, I'm going to start doing it from the backwards, right? And then you start doing random. That's called breaking the form, deconstructing. You know the form so you can break it apart, and you know each part well, so you can put them together in a hurry if you like, or you can start using them, putting them together in a different way. But it's not a wrong way, because it's a piece of pie. The 5 pieces in that pie, no matter how you put them side by side, it's still a pie.
You might be just testing, and some things might not work out.
Exactly. This is where I said the journey that you walk by yourself, no one can walk for you, is that research and development. You don't want your teacher to always guide you, lead you the way. Okay? I'll follow you. Okay, teacher, go. I'll follow you. Right? What if he died? If he dies, then it's, look, I'm stuck. I have no one to follow. Then you're in a rush to try to find another teacher.
Find somebody else.
Right, but the beauty of the system is because your ultimate guide is the yin and yang. Whether he's physically in front of you or he's in your mind, he's still guiding you. So ideally, he should be in your mind as well. So he's always in your consciousness. Okay? First, you create a form, you master form, and you break the form. This is truly what Bruce meant, formless. You know, anytime you see someone say, okay, I'm teaching boxing. The boxing has no form. Yes, it does. They don't understand what forms mean. It just means, oh, it has to be like this. That's a form. Or like this, right? This is a form. Okay, what are you doing? You're trying to learn how to do a jab, and then you want to perfect the jab. Anything you have to do with that regimen is a form. Okay, so now I learned how to do a jab now. Okay, she says, okay, first you gotta learn how to stand. Okay, make sure your shoulders like this, whatever, Okay, so when you throw it out, you wanna make sure your shoulders, you tuck your chin behind that. So you do it over and over again. That's learning the form. But when you apply it, you don't remind yourself, tuck the chin, you just do it because it's repetition. Okay, so you say, okay, now do cross, right? Cross, right? So you do a few times, and let's put this together. Jab, cross. Jab, jab, cross. Okay, so he shows you a pattern. The pattern is jab and cross. Okay? And jab and hook. Jab and uppercut. When you learn that, you can say, I can do anything I like. Any way I like. I don't have to go jab, uppercut. Jab. Then you say, okay, jab, cross, hook. Jab, cross, that's breaking the form. When you free form, that's how you do it. Learning individual punching technique, quote unquote, is learning the form. Applying those individual techniques, quote unquote, is formless.
Some
Right.
people even modify their own jab has a certain look to us, a unique look
Yes,
to a certain
absolutely.
person. And
Muhammad Ali's
almost-
back fist,
Yeah.
he flicks at you. Okay? It's illegal to do that, but he's able to get away with it. He's flicking it. He's not doing. You need to use this part rather than this part. He's doing this, you know. That's very fast.
Yeah.
The flick is better than quicker than a thrust, right? And then so George Foreman, his jab is a knockout.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so everybody is different here and here. So they eventually develop their own styles. Just like every baseball player, when they swing, is slightly different from the other.
Sure, it's a good example.
They were taught the same way. That's the form. Unconsciously or consciously, they start breaking the form to suit themselves.
Golfers.
Exactly. The swing has to be done this way, right? So it's okay. This is a golf swing, but after doing that for a while, then you start making adjustments to tailor to your body height, length of your arms and legs. You know, so that's applications formulas. Okay. Training drills are form. You have to have form. Otherwise, just fight with what? Just go and fight. But I don't know how. Okay. Anytime you learn how to throw a punch, that's form. Okay? So people need to understand that it is not just learning a sequence of movements.
And application's always formless.
Yes, because it doesn't take on any form. There's non-pattern, irregular patterns. When you have a pattern, just like when you fight, you don't fight in the sequence of a form,
Yeah.
right? That is the difference, the biggest difference between our forms and most other forms. Okay, not to belittle or criticize the katas, the Okinawan karate, or you know, but they tend to use a form as a form of fighting, defending and attacking. You notice that, right? If you go, wow, oh, that's you get someone kicking you, you step back, give you distance, boom, right? You go forward, right? See, in these katas, they already bring in your invisible opponent. And in that sequence.
Shadow box.
Right. But you don't see that in our form. What am I doing? I'm not defending or attacking. It's not about that. As you can tell. You know, well, Chi-Sao. Well, are you defending or attacking? I'm not defending or either attacking. I'm understanding concepts. Center line. Right? So, you know, and then starting to show you how the joints works. It's not about defending or attacking, right? Well, I'm doing this. Well, oh, Chi-Sao. I'm working this joint. I'm working the wrist, working the elbow, working the wrist, working the elbow. That's the second one. First and foremost is finding, memorizing, committing to memory the location of your center. First and foremost, from the beginning. You define the top and the bottom. You notice they do this. See that? Because center line right here, you go up and down, back up. You define the center line right here. Then the next thing you learn, first one, is about joints, okay, which very few touch on. Okay, they are caught up in, they're caught up in techniques. That's tanza, it's defensive techniques. Okay, punch is offensive techniques. So they're caught up in what I call the 19th century thinking, rather than breaking down the body, understanding what you're working on, rather than defending and attacking. Because if you know your body, you know his body. Right? Okay. Right. Yeah, if you know how the body works, then it's easier. It's your advantage. The third thing is direction. Which direction is my arm going? Going up, going forward, going down, going to the side. Okay? And then diagonal. So start showing you directions. Center line, joints, directions. Right?
Only thing that's left is energy.
Energy, right? Energy drives your arms to different directions.
Yeah.
According to your intentions.
Hi.
Crappy energies.
Hey.
Hey.
Good, how are you?
Good.
She worked us because she said, where were you last week? And I said, I was on vacation. She said, yes. So then she says,
Kind of like how
you guys, if you don't like what we're doing tonight, she says, you blame me. She says, somebody in here needs to work.
She said, I'm going to the morning, not the
So, well, I told her, but she said, and then I told her that, we're getting married. And she says, you need to come.
You are one.
Yes. Anyway, have fun.
All right, thank you. So,
It's interesting you showing the Chi-Sao because in the form, really, about the wrist and doing the rotation with the wrist in a fixed spot. But then when you do Chi-Sao on, let's say, a dummy arm, it takes another shape because you want to end up on the other side of the arm.
Right.
So it's like the wrist ends up moving. So it's like
Yeah.
there's,
as I mentioned before, there are two ways to do everything.
yeah.
That's what most people are not paying attention to or not realizing. In our version, called version, because I don't say this is the ultimate version. It's in our version, our Chi-Sao is going down. Okay? It's called Chang-Sao, Chang to sink. Okay? In other schools, I've seen going up. Okay? I don't jump up and down, so that's wrong. I said, thank you, show me the other side. So you can do it this way, right? Sink, or,
Does that help with would you be thinking more up when you go on the dummy arm, or not really? Doesn't-
Well-
You're still just going around.
wait, you gotta remember, everything is connected. Even though you're learning the empty hand form, which appears to be individual islands, all you see is the surface part, you don't see underneath. And then you go into the dummy form. Then everything that's from the empty hand forms will come back again in a different different shape. Yeah, just like a different way of using the same thing. And then when you go to the double knives, come back again. So for example, this one is the tilt and sink. Either you tilt or you sink, right? Well, yeah,
And it's part of,
right. When you get to the knife form, then all these experiences in the past that you're acquiring right now will come into play. And then makes your empty hand even better. You touch back and forth. That's what I was talking about earlier. Now that you've got the sequence of the knife, then you start doing the
king form of.
exactly. You just remember I said it's all about the wrist, right? So for example, when you do this, you do this. Sink, tilt,
So powerful.
right? Or sink, tilt,
Right.
Yeah. Eventually becomes this. Okay? And this is really helps you when you have no room to maneuver. You pin, you and the other guy is only few inches away from each other. The other guy is panicking because he wants to get room to attack you. Just like in Muay Thai, when they're in this, or they're doing this, okay? This is what they do, they go like this. Trust me, next time you see MMA, they do this because just like this, they want to do this.
Right.
Because they never learned how to issue Qi, right? With this so prevalent in Chinese martial arts. But how come this is a known knowledge? It's not the secret that Chinese people kept away from everybody. It's been written and practiced.
Well, maybe you'll see the ground fighting change over the next few years in UFC. Instead of people just hanging on to each other, you'll start seeing these short little
Not
stripes.
until they are humble enough to ask for that. Trust me, you will see guys who say, shove, Wing Chun, praying mantis, these are no good. Because all they know is grappling and Muay Thai. Because if you have distance, the elbow is very strong. Right, you have distance, but what if you don't have distance?
Right. And if you don't hit
That's what happens, you do this.
But I've been watching UFC the whole history,
Right,
or
right.
the time of it, life of it, and only recently are guys using their shoulders and using them in a way it looks effective.
Yeah.
I mean, the other guy's trying to, I need to change position because this hurts.
Right.
So you're starting to see.
But that's not new, though.
No, it's
That's been in boxing for 20, 30 years.
and maybe that's where they.
It's just called dirty boxing.
Yeah.
Dirty
Get
boxing.
on the other side of the
But
rest.
it's
right?
not about
Yeah.
some Chinese martial arts masters told them that. You know, you have joints. You know, your elbow's a joint. Trust me.
Yeah. No, I believe
You
you.
won't say, oh yeah, a Chinese
It's just
guy.
dirty boxing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, I'm so close to you.
And grinding and all.
Exactly, but they don't know the concept behind that.
Yeah.
They were taught to use them, where it still became a technique.
Yeah.
A technique, right? Rather than someone says, okay, I'm gonna show you now, you have 6 joints on each side of the body, huh? Every single joint can be a weapon. So when you're close, what's the close? This is the close, short, medium, long. Short, medium, long. That needs to be taught. But trust me, no one's gonna do that because they have to turn somebody into a fighter within a year or 2 years.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Okay?
Yeah.
Right, don't have that time to understand the concept. Just show me how to punch and kick and I'm good. I'm young and I'm
Right.
fast, I can do that. Rather than fighting intelligently,
Yeah.
okay? A lot of times you see 2 guys just beating each other up. That's just,
Yeah.
you're taking shots and you're giving another one.
Yeah.
Why take a shot when you don't
Yeah.
have to? You make him take shots and you don't, so you get in and out. Again, that's not taught. You know, that's what footwork is all about. Getting range to attack and get out of range to avoid being hit. Right, rather than, okay, oh, it's a great fight.
Yeah,
The audience loved it.
entertainment value,
Yeah, the audience loved it. And the audience hate it. They hate it, stop booing you. They don't understand. That's what a real fighter is.
Silva would get good.
Right, come on, get in there, and just gotta mix it up, you know? Why should I get punched when I don't have to?
He barely ever got hit.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's the thing, you know? As an audience, we still need to be educated, not just some cage animals. You know, I wanna see blood, I wanna see someone knocked out, you know, or legs broken. You know, we have to be educated and say, oh wow, that's a great fighter because he's so elusive. He's getting to the other guy over and over again, the other guy couldn't get him.
Yeah.
There's no that climatic, you know, oh, 2 bulls, you know, colliding, you know? So that's what we're here, you know?
Too many movies,
Yeah.
yeah.
People have seen everything. It's like.
Right,
one
right.
blood.
They can't distinguish between movies, which is drama, and reality. They want to see something like that in movies, you know?
I heard Joe Rogan say he doesn't understand why people are booing at a certain moment of a fight. He says, this is the most strategic, or, you know,
Exactly.
he spots it.
He does, well, he practices BJJ, so he's very knowledgeable. So when 2 guys are rolling around, you know, trying to outdo each other, he knows because he is doing this every day. I don't know how often he practices. He can say, okay, now he's getting ready to do a shoulder lock. Sure enough, the guy spin around and do a block. Brazilian called it shoulder lock, you know, using the leg to lock the shoulder. You know, he's going to really do a kimura, you know. Sure enough, that happens. The other guy flipped around and he got away. And that's true masters working.
Right.
2 guys constantly doing this, you know. Yeah, anyway, so next, so what we're doing next is mix it up. One person's gonna do all of it, and then the other person does it. So first I'm gonna start with this, right? Punch, right? Punch, and regrab. Right? See, this is the grandfather, right? Okay. Next one. Okay. Next one. Next one. This is familiar territory, right? And then the next one is this. And the next one is this. And then I'm going to be on the receiving end when he does everything. He does a regrab, and then he does the Chi-Sao change, and then he does the Lap-Sao change, and the controlling the Lap-Sao, controlling the Wu-Sao. Alright? Next one is going to, same thing. I'll be doing all the Chi-Sao. Okay, oh, doesn't work. Right? You see it? Oh, that doesn't work. Right? So here, you just substitute that with the Lap-Sao. Yeah, this is the discovery I was talking about. Alright? Alright? So of course, next one, of course, is the Lap-Sao. Lap-Sao. Okay. And the next one will be, from here, grab and capture. Same thing. Strike, capture. Next one, strike, capture. Strike, capture. Okay. So I'm all done. And then he goes through the same thing. And I just react. Yeah, so you start with reference punch.
You start.
Okay.
Must move.
Better. Missing a lot of stuff.
Keep going.
Continue Wu-Sao, yeah, Wu-Sao. Yeah. Wu-Sao.
Where are you going? Took off. See?
Okay?
Now we're gonna do.
Okay. Let's modify a little bit. So rather than, I want you to do a little slower, okay, then you can kind of speed up the process a little bit. So you got to do this, right? Okay? So do it slower, but with intentions like this. Okay? So this is how I start, right? Okay, right? Re-grab. Re-grab. You're done. Okay? Nope, no waste.
You wanna go right to each one?
Right,
Okay.
one follow the other. Okay, next
Okay,
one.
I got you.
Done. Okay, so because if you
Yeah.
have to do this, a lot of concentration. You have to know, because you can't do the recycle to organize.
Oh, where was I?
What I need to do, okay, you have to be really focused on what you're doing. And that's as close as to reality as you can get. And then it's also the concept of continuous motion. Okay, you finish, especially the 4 to 5. Okay, the 4, right? There, I'm done. Okay? So right, see that?
Yeah.
The 4 is 4, 5,
Yeah.
5, 5. I'm done.
That was, okay, good.
Okay, so now you get a glimpse of reality. That's what it is. You hit the guy defend against, boom, he pulls down.
Yeah.
Another shot.
Yeah. Okay, so Loretto, you go first. Okay.
We're gonna start from the top again?
No, just the.
No, just
Oh,
from the
oh,
jump shot. Jam-Sao.
Yeah. Well, I modified it.
Oh, that's right, that's right. This one you have to.
Yeah, first one I did it, and then it felt wrong, and the
Right,
second one I
yes.
modified it.
Yeah,
Now it's going in.
With that, you have to do a job,
Yeah.
Fuchsia. Yes. Good. Right. It's just condensed a little, even more.
Okay.
So you were.
Try again?
Yeah, you go. No, just the 4 and 5. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, go.
Alright. Oh, I see what you mean.
Boom.
Right.
Again.
That's what you mean. Ah.
Okay. One more time. Okay.
Okay.
Boom.
And then you don't.
Number 4, number 5. After you do this, you catch the out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, condense even more.
Gotcha,
Right.
gotcha.
So one more time from here.
Okay. So this is my second. Gotcha. Ah.
Done.
Okay.
That was your second.
Yes. Yeah.
So the 4 and 5 bombs,
Yes.
there's really no stop. You can tell it's from the first one to the last one. There's no gap in between, which is as close to real fighting
Yeah.
because you constantly trapping, attacking, trapping, attacking. Right? Okay. Okay. Trapping, attacking. Right? Right?
This is
Constantly.
one after the next.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Let's try it one more time.
Yeah.
Just 4 and 5 units?
I'm just gonna go from the top.
Okay.
From the top, yeah. Go. Go.
Ah. Dang,
All right,
okay.
one more time.
That's tricky.
Again. Again.
Yeah.
All right, go back to 4.
Alright, so we're going back to 4.
4,
First one.
Yeah. So,
4. Go back to 4.
okay.
4, pull. And yeah, and again. There you go. That's it. Take your turn.
Wow.
Okay, take your time.
Okay.
无上, don't forget your 无上. Bring the 无上 up.
Oh, no, I'm not doing that yet.
Regrab. Good. Hands out.
Oh, here.
Good.
Modify.
Pass up.
Pass out.
Out.
Moves
Yeah.
out.
Pass up.
Pass out.
Good.
Boom, moves out. No, pass out. Boom. Boom.
But
Yeah. Boom.
again. You're done.
Yes.
Okay. Let's backtrack.
Yeah.
You go from 3
Okay.
to 4, 5.
Okay.
Okay. 3.
Yeah.
Go. Does it?
Oh.
See that?
Yeah.
That's what I
see
mean.
that.
One
Okay.
more time.
I didn't see it, but I felt it.
There. Yes. That is as close to
That's
real
it.
fighting as you can get.
Because you're always constantly.
He's always
defending,
defending. Yeah.
attack,
You
defend,
keep
attack.
him breathless. He never gets a chance to attack. Once he finishes attacking, he attacks again. But it's always controlling one of your arms.
I thought because I was adding the chaos, or not chaos, but how we were just kind of picking one every few, that it adds more busyness.
Or random.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 ways. You can do that. It's a random pattern.
Yeah, but
which
this
means-
feels better.
Well, drills are not reality, but they can be done in such a way that it's
This
close
feels
to
more
reality.
purposeful. The other
Right,
one,
right.
the randomness kind of felt a little bit too.
But random is not wrong. Random is one way. This one's another way. This one works the concept. It's called continuous motion. Once you get going,
Yeah.
what is that law of physics? A body in motion stays in motion. That's what this is all about.
You felt it when you, that last time.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like the other guys. It's always like
It's always in
Yeah,
motion.
Exactly. Now, if you do the irregular pattern, then it has that element of unpredictability. So you don't know when it's going to happen, so you have to be very vigilant. the person who's, defending. So both rights are different methods, okay? Go from 3 to 5.
3 to 5.
Yeah. 3, go. He has, yeah. Go. Now next. Yeah, excellent. Take a break. Good job. Yes.
Fun.
You do it again? Yeah, Ted, you do it again too. Yes. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Just want to make sure I'm straight.
Oh, did I go to lose?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna forget that. Oh, and 2, and.
Yes. Go from number 1 to number 5.
Oh, you want number 5? Okay, I'll do it.
1.
Okay.
Do back.
Number 5.
No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, 1, 2,
Yeah,
3, 4, 5.
yeah.
Sorry.
Before you just do it from 3 to 5.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, the jump.
Yeah.
Do that. Is it your turn? You do it?
Your turn.
You just do all of them.
Oh.
Continue. Yeah.
And continue.
Yes.
I understand.
Go ahead. Very well.
Roll it.
Well, let's do
Yeah.
it this way. To stay within the palm up,
Yeah.
you just do a backhand like this. Okay? And we grab, right? Hands up. Understand? Okay? Like this. Okay?
According to Big Brother, that's okay.
Well,
Close.
directions. So you do it in the directions. Okay, downward. Okay?
Okay.
So that's another way to do it. You're saying,
Yeah.
taking that when you practice, because you do this,
Yeah.
you know,
All you're changing is.
or you can do this.
Because what we're doing is.
Yeah,
we're not actually-
yeah.
We're switching it to the food, but if we want to keep on instead of coming in as a circular strike, it's more of a
Right.
downward.
Because a lot of, you probably have seen a lot of people with the two bone,
Lap-Sao.
yeah,
Yeah.
this way. Right, so. Okay, they do, rather than punch, they do a back fist. Some people practice that way. Unfortunately, that's the only way that they do. So, if we know vertical, horizontal. That's all. Okay, eventually you say, let's do off, close fist. Then it becomes like this. Hammer. Right? It's no different from this, and this. Close fist. Or hammer. Hammer this way. Hammer that way. Right? So this becomes a style of fighting. From close fist to empty hand. And this is also very safe. You're not using the knuckles, you're using the meaty part. Okay? This is unfortunately not seen by most karate practitioners. They look at this as the outside block. They look at this as inside block. They look at this as rising block and downward block. They didn't see this, all they see is this. So what's the difference when you do a Fuchs-Sao defense and the Jiao-Sao strike? What's the difference? What's the difference? That becomes a style. Okay? You can say, I'm gonna do hammer all the way. Okay? Eventually, the hammer, if you start moving, it becomes like Hongda or Chole foot. Okay? Line or point. You see how powerful this is? You figured it out. See, your hammer drives a line, but if you use the hammer this way, it becomes a point. So I can do it this way, or I can do it this way. Right? We'll do it this way, which is all in there. Okay? It's the same thing. You do that torque. You don't clench until you are ready to strike. Same thing here. Right? You have that. Yeah, it's all from the very beginning. From this, from this to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, the explosion. Eventually explosion this way.
Yeah.
And eventually these things transfer into.
Yeah, you took it a whole nother level. Because in Fuji it's there, but it's left to the practitioner to figure it out.
Unfortunately,
Especially this right here.
Yeah.
That's the whole concept is right there.
right, but most people, I'm afraid, never saw that. Even though the dummy form showed us
In
the dummy form, and then you go back earlier, the third form. Exactly. It depends on, are you sinking or are you tilting?
yeah.
See? That's tilting. Okay, now let's do it this way. Sink, tilt, sink, tilt. Whole different level.
Yeah.
Everybody only knows one way. Tilt, tilt up, sit up, tilt up, sit up, tilt up. We see that's one way. The other one is, okay, I'm going to tilt, sink, tilt, sink. Oh, so she says, he says, well, she didn't it says, if you can go vertical, can you then go horizontal? Right? And then the nun said, okay, let me show you how that's applied in the dummy form. You're not doing this anymore. Right? You're doing horizontal. Okay?
Even in after this where she has us go like this, and we do the three.
Same thing.
I feel it's still like a basic outline because this would attack your
Eyes.
left eye because the ridge ends up blocking. So the other eye would be if I stayed on. So I could go,
Right.
eye 3 times, left
right.
eye,
And
3
then left,
times,
right,
and then
left, right.
right,
Exactly.
right. But again, that could be hard more to free form.
It
But
is.
didn't realize it though, because
Well,
there's nothing to stop you from gouging eyes out from the side, but you end up, if you scoot in all the way, you end up hitting
the bridge, right,
Stop.
right.
You have to go to the other side.
Because the dummy form is, the dummy form, all forms provide a framework. It's a rough draft. Like I said, she could not possibly wrote the essay for you because she doesn't know what you're going to do. These are the tools for writing, okay? Now, I don't know whether you're going to write fiction or non-fiction. I don't know if you're going to write prose or sonnet. I don't know that. I cannot possibly write that for you. So all she said, I'm providing you with the tools and you have to write whatever you want to write. That's one. Another one is say, okay, I'm going to write for everybody. I'm going to start with the prose, and then going to sonnet, going to this and that. It's a never-ending form. Right? She would say, okay. She say, she can easily do this. All right, the third form. All right, go boom, boom, boom. Right? All right. One way is to brush. Okay, now again, do this. Do this, and then do this.
Yeah.
Now imagine how long this will be. Oh, if you can do that, you can simply do diagonal. Diagonal. You can brush this way, brush this way. You got it? You haven't even scratched the surface of the form yet. Okay? So, the job of the instructor is to provide a clue. And he himself cannot have possibly provide all the answers. It's impossible. He's just one man. Okay? So, we as practitioners has to have this mission in mind. My mission is to contribute to Wing Chun. Not to feed my personal ego. When you have that idea, that concept, then nothing can stop you because it's not about you anymore. It's about what can this do? I'm going to stretch and stretch and stretch, and how far I can stretch it. The only way to do it is just by experimenting, like we're doing right now.
Did you have that thought early on?
No, of course not.
No?
No, that's about me. I want to be a good fighter. That's part of the process. But
Or
no
was
one.
it while you were training Wing Chun? Or
Yeah, I mean,
was it afterwards when you were on your own?
No, I started Wing Chun in 1979. That's quite early. Yeah, back then I was still young back then. So as you age, you realize that it transcends more just physicality. It's got to be more than that.
Yeah, it's got to.
It has to move that because my teacher, even though he was about my age, he's a little younger than I am, he's very traditional in many ways as a Chinese, okay? He doesn't really tell you what I do now, because I try to detail. A lot of times he wants you to figure out yourself.
That's what my old instructor said about his master.
Yeah, that's the old
He'd
way.
leave class, he'd have everybody doing something, he'd just walk out. Half hour later, come back, area down, and what was that?
We do it, but you have to have dedicated students who are driven by the goal to become good. In modern society, you say, hey, I'm paying you your time to teach me. You can just disappear on me. I'm not going to stand this for a year before you teach me anything. But that's the old way. You just stay in your zhang for a year. There's a couple things that he was looking at. Are you persistent? Are you determined? Do you want this bad enough? It was character.
I left that part out. Everybody was in a horse dance when you walked out the front door for an hour.
Right, exactly. So they want to see, I'm passing on this to you, which is a deadly art. Are you a righteous person? Do you have the quality and the perseverance, the personality for me to pass it on to you? It doesn't work anymore. Say, hey, I don't stand here for a year to teach me anything.
MMA guy down the street will show me.
Absolutely. You have no students. You have no students. I guarantee you a black belt in 2 years. Oh, I'm signing up. Right? It's a different society. So I try to do both. Try to really explain. Yeah, really explain, but also encourage discovery on your own. Again, I cannot possibly figure out everything. I can't. Now, one of the thing is, that's the fun part to me, is that lifelong journey of discovering on a daily basis. Every time I open my mouth, something new happens. Every time I talk about something else can be, hey, you can also do this, tell them. Oh yeah, by the way.
Yeah.
So when I say by the way, it's just like this came to me.
Yeah, or in dreams, right?
Yeah.
I had a dream the other night. I was doing some Fuji and I was
really?
attacking the eye, and I just did a straight attack and then I went I sprained my finger. I was like, why don't I just go like this if I'm gonna go for the eyes? Just avoid the ridge. So
Well,
it's
usually relaxed.
yeah, or relax.
Relaxed, yeah. So beauty is not tense, it's a relaxed.
Yeah, so that's probably what happened. I was tensing.
Yeah, so relaxed, you see, rather than,
But it goes against what you.
oh yeah. Then you learn that way, Okay. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the Lap-Sao, but because it's so deep, there's no bottom. But we cannot keep going. We're gonna set it aside and jump out to another hole and dig down, okay, which is Chi-Sao. Let's go to a single Chi-Sao again, okay? Which you've done before, but okay. Chi-Sao, very good. Okay, just go through the motion, which is three movements from neutral. The person on top starts the the person on the bottom starts the action, and make sure this is a common, if I may call it, mistake, is the palm strike should be towards the chest, not to the opposite. People tend to make it easy for the partner, but you should go like this and let him hit you down. Yeah. Remember, partner drills are so valuable. You come away with something you never get when you do it by yourself. What he's doing is, he's making you aware of the attack and how to neutralize that. On his part, he learns how to yield after attacking. Because if the attack failed, why should I insist on going in again? Right? I just find another way. You know what I'm saying? So from here, I attack with the every intention to attack. But when he sinks down, I'm not going to do this. Because that's not reality. In reality, you don't know he's going to do that. You learn to flow. So as you palm the chest and he takes you down, you just relax. Right? Just relax. The person relaxes. And then wait for the other person to attack. And you learn to stick. And you go back to
My fingers are pointed forward.
absolutely. This is a modified, which Jim Lau taught me, rather than the conventional way, which is pointing sideways. Everybody does this way. Okay. When you do this, you tend to hook. Right.
Well,
You tend to hold on to it.
Even think it.
Yes, you tend to move backwards. Okay. When you move backwards, that's an application. It's not the drill. Okay. That's the free forming. So you can start doing this way, but when you want to hook, you can.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the free forming part, the application part. Okay, not to be confused with the drill itself. The drill itself is either about stickiness, about reading. Right. And here you're limp, but you're not limp here, but you're here in your tense. Yeah. Okay, continue. Okay, and this is also understanding how much to do in order to neutralize the attack. Okay.
I feel like,
Yeah, you need to sink a little bit below your wusa. Yeah, right here. See, this is the palm chip, right? Okay. If I just do this, he still touches me. I need to go from there. That's what you're learning. A very, very subtle movement like that allows you to neutralize the attack. See, just by sinking a little bit, it missed me by a couple inches. Okay? Go. Yeah, that's it.
I almost feel like he's gonna push himself out of the way. Once he starts to move, I'm thinking this direction instead of down, but
That's application.
yeah.
Yeah. Right now, you focus on forward energy. Okay. Make sure when you strike, you don't keep your arms straight, which is what most people do. That's application. You want to bend. Yeah. Your energy is still going forward rather than upward, even though your fist may be pointing up, but your energy is going forward.
He's making me go up, not.
Right, exactly. But your energy should be like this. Even though he's pushing you up, but the energy still goes from your elbow to the center line. Right. Another way to look at it is to punch a hole here and go through that hole. Okay. Good. Okay. Switch. So you're on the bottom. Yeah, bottom. Right. Same thing. From here, you don't want to go like this. He doesn't want to go like this. Okay? Instead, you go forward. Subtle, not aggressive. Right.
Who initiates this part? Is it kind of a compromise?
Together. Together, right? So you attack, he attacks, and together. Right, see, as you go from bound to ton, he goes from here to relax. Slightly higher than you do Lap-Sao.
I could feel it when
Yeah.
what you adjusted me to, and then I had a couple good ones, and then that one felt
Right. Yes. The reason for the bounce out in a descending fashion is whatever comes in is going to roll down. But if you level like this, it still goes through.
Now, can we also apply what we did in Lap-Sao with this? Where we do
Yes, that's next level. Absolutely. Everything can be done. Because
I would emphasize anybody as long as we love.
or this,
Yeah.
or the Lap-Sao, same thing. Exactly. Okay. But that's
Yeah.
let's get the basic shape down. Okay. Okay. All right. Next, the other hand. Okay, you're on the bottom. No, you're on the bottom. Right. There you go. Okay. Another thing is, I notice most people do it this way. They tend to do it really fast because they're trying to get the other person, but they forgot it's not fighting. Okay, it's about sensitivity. So in fact, you want to do that deliberately. And one of the way you do it deliberately and in a moderate speed is to elicit a reaction. Now see how he responds. Okay, so let me show you right here. So if I'm on the bottom, right? I don't want to do this. That's not a drill. I got you.
Yeah.
But we're not fighting. And you see that all the time. Okay? And I'm afraid that's not my idea of training. The training it's a sensitivity. It's about sensitivity. So in fact, I do this like this. I don't do fast because then there's no drill. Okay? Yeah. I go like to see. Because now I can eventually I can do this. Because see, that's a setup. It's called. It's like I don't know how deep the pond is or the river is. I don't want to just go in. Because I don't know what he knows, right? Just like he's like it's the mystery. He's like this river. I don't know how deep. It may be very shallow, or maybe very deep. I'm just gonna throw a rock or stick a stick into that. This is that gauge, that thing. See how you respond. This is the drill, right? We're doing the same thing over and over again. And I'm not using a lot of force or downward, I see how he takes me. Then, I'm gonna start. Okay? Okay? So that becomes the application.
But is the application always going to be related to sticking?
It is, I'm sticking to it. Yeah.
So it's only, but how would you, well, I don't know. When you're in a, let's say a street fight, by that time, things seem very advanced in the
Oh,
fight
absolutely,
itself.
absolutely. When you're doing Fast and Furious, your training will kick in. You learn the sticking, and it's in your muscular nervous system, and the moment it's gonna come out. You learn not to use muscle. You learn to use the angle, the energy, and use his energy against it. That can only be done by doing what we're doing. You know, if I use something force, and he forced himself back, then okay, I'm just yield. You know, here's for example, you know, he pushing me, and he's boom, boom, oh, yeah, right there, or he pushes back. That can only be done once you are given the knowledge to practice that way.
But it's not as disconnected as a box where you kind of probe with a jab to see how the guy reacts. Because this is all about,
It is.
you're already engaged, right?
Yeah.
Remember, there are four ranges of fighting.
And this is,
This is the Chi-Sao range,
okay,
the
yeah.
grappling range.
Okay, good.
Yes, this is the
Yeah,
grappling
after
range.
the jabs.
Yeah.
Yeah, after
You lock
you
in.
boom, and he comes in, because that's not fighting. Fighting is you boom come together. Otherwise, it's a sport. You dance and just like, I get you, I score, right? But you go boom, the guy grabs you, they're gonna rush you to the ground. That's you get into Chi-Sao range. You know, so we're able to use Chi-Sao range to go into strikes, knee strikes, kicks, grapple, locks. It's all there. You know, so from here, we can double like right here. See, you easily get into a lock from here, right? Without losing contact, right? I just go like right here. See, as it turns over to a lock, or into a lock like this.
So it's,
Right? Or into a lock like this. Right? I didn't let go. It's all from touch. Eventually work myself into those, and then the one that we did, the ones we did before, remember here, right? See, I'm gonna do that right there, yeah? Lap-Sao strike, right? Same thing right here. Chi-Sao strike, right? I can go into from a Bang-Sao, Lap-Sao. We just do that, right? Remember that?
oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. From here, Lap-Sao change, or from here, okay, Lap-Sao change. Or from here, I can also use the angle. Control, you know, normally I go from here, I go like this, or like this, like,
Simple.
yeah, I use forward, you know. So these things eventually you would develop using this as the basis, as your basic framework, okay? Use minimum energy to defend. Little lower.
Deeper, yeah.
Yeah, just like
That's not what you meant by
just like your first form. You want to sink a little lower. Like see that first like this. See, sink a little lower. The lower you move up. Yeah, there you go. Now so yeah. So what's happening is after he's attacked, you move down slightly to create an opening. So what's happening is it's a mutually benefited drill. What happens is you learn to create openings. He learns to recognize the opening. Right? See that right here. Now as you try to fill that opening, he closed it. That's the back and forth understanding. Don't let him move your arm up. Don't. Yeah, don't. Okay. So what happens is, I'm on the bottom, right? Okay. So I'm your arm. Okay. So down. Now, this is see that? See that? Right. But instead, you should feel. One more time, as opposed to. You see how? It's lifted. You want to do the first one. Poke a hole through. His rising movement does not influence your up. Okay? This is right.
I think it's just because I want to get to him, so I keep pushing it out there.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. That's what everybody feels. You're not trying to get to him, you're trying to work the concept. Yeah. Because you're gonna get to him, then it's sparring.
It's sparring.
We're trying to.
Why is it that, I mean, what is it called, the Yitman Cup or whatever, it's like all about Chi-Sao competition,
Yeah.
and I get it so, but then it almost doesn't even look like it just looks like they're
It's just like
grappling, slapping.
Yeah, there's no form anymore, no grace in that. Chi-Sao is not meant to be competition. Chi-Sao is a drill, it's a tool to hone your certain skills in close quarter fighting, sensitivity.
Do you think Yitman's rolling in his grave?
I'm sure, yeah.
It's kind of like,
It
they
doesn't,
should know,
no, they
something
shouldn't do that.
really
You know,
studying or.
yeah.